Anyway, we are bringing on our final guest, and her name is Erika Archer. Erika is a children's author. She's also an Air Force veteran. So, and she has a very interesting bio biography about her time in the military, which I'd like her to share with the audience, as well as information about her children's book. So, Erika, welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Hello.
And oh, you're unmuted. Great. How
Okay.
are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing tonight?
Doing great. So thank you for being a guest on the show. And you talked about in your bio that you're Air Force veteran. You
I,
served 12 years on
mhm.
active duty, and part of it was in Iraq.
Yes.
You were. So tell us just a little bit about that, your background in the service, and when you joined, and did you go through ROTC, or how did you become a Air Force a member of the Air Force, or whatever they call it?
Okay. So I actually became a member of the Air Force. My dad is an Air Force veteran himself. So
Okay.
back in 2005 is when I joined. So I joined, I'm originally from Chesapeake, Virginia. So I joined.
Okay. I'm gonna stop you. I'm from Newport
Okay.
News. I'm from Newport News. So yeah, Chesapeake is really close. Mhm.
Tidewater.
Really close. So I haven't lived there in a long time, but that's where I grew up, in Newport News. So
2005 was the last time I actually physically lived in Virginia. So
okay. All right. So yeah, it's a lot of military in that area.
yes. So
Mhm.
yes, I joined the Air Force kind of a little bit, maybe a year after high school. I went in and enlisted, and I did the boot camp, and then I went to my technical school where I learned how to be a medic. And then after that, I went to my first duty station, which was in San Antonio, Texas, Lackland Air Force Base. And
Okay.
I was out there maybe for 5 years. And then that was my actual first deployment, where I deployed to Balad, Iraq at the Air Force Theater Hospital.
Oh, okay. Well, see, we have a lot of cross references in
Yeah.
our biography because I was born at Fort Sam Houston.
Oh, see? Oh my God.
So that my dad was in the army when I was
Okay.
born, and so I was born at Fort Sam Houston. But then we moved. My parents they both passed away, but North Carolina was where they were from. And
Mhm.
so when my
What
dad was stationed in Texas, North Carolina, well, little towns, but
Okay.
um,
I
Mebane and
was
Hillsborough.
Carolina, Fort Bragg, Fort Liberty, Pope Army Airfield too. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were near Durham, so that's not.
oh yeah, so that's Fayetteville is like an hour away from
Yeah,
Durham. Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
But they were, my mom was from Mebane
Okay.
and my dad was from Hillsborough.
Oh, okay. So
We're both
I know Hillsborough. I don't know the other location though.
okay. And my sister is in Greensboro now.
Mhm.
She's been there a long time, but she went to Bennett,
Okay.
and my brother-in-law went to A&T.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's how they met.
Got it.
So then they moved to Florida for 10 years and they went back to Greensboro. So they've been there since then. It's been a long time. So I
Right.
spent a lot of time in North Carolina. My daughter went to North Carolina Central.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's
Yes.
so
Yeah.
yeah. You
Our paths have crossed just in general, being in similar places at different
absolutely
times. Yeah.
yes.
So was your dad stationed at Langley?
He was stationed. He was a Vietnam era veteran. So he was stationed. I believe his first duty station was in Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. He was over there. And then he
Okay.
was in the Air National Guard for about, I think, 15 years, and then he retired out the Air National Guard.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Because Langley was where was the Air Force Base near Newport News, or right
Yeah.
outside. And
Hmm.
we went when I was in elementary school. I think we went like on
Yeah.
a tour of Langley. So
And now,
that's really my familiarity with it. But I know people I know who were in the Air Force. Some
mhm.
of them end up stationed there.
Oh wow, see.
Mhm. So what led you to write your children's book, which
All
is titled? Do you have a copy of your book with you?
I do have a copy of my book, but it's actually it's over there. If I can run and
Yeah,
grab
go get it
it.
real quick because we want
Okay, real
them to
quick.
see the, okay, we we want the audience to see the cover. And it also gives the author a chance to just
Okay.
hold the book in their hands and be
So
proud.
can you see?
Okay. It's called Allison, You Are Beautiful.
Yes, it's called Allison, You're Beautiful. So my book is about the character Allison. She gets bullied for the way that she looks. She has very deep freckles on her face. And so she starts getting low self-esteem because she's getting picked on. She's 7 years old. She's not understanding like why are people talking about my freckles? Why are they saying I look like a giraffe? Why are they saying I look dirty? And she starts developing low self-esteem, and her mother is like a big pivotal figure in the book. So she teaches her that, hey, you are beautiful just the way that God created you. And then it increases her self-esteem, and she learns how to forgive the bully as well.
Okay. Now, is this based on some true events or
Yes, it
is
is. Well, I
okay.
suppose, but 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 I will say, in elementary school, I did used to get picked on for my looks at one point in my life. And my parents, they're in their 70s, so they come from the old school. So I'm telling them, like, daddy, mommy, they're picking on me, and they're just like, ignore it. So, and that generation, they just learn how to tough a lot of stuff out. And, for me, it made my self esteem diminish. So I'm sitting back, developing low self esteem, not feeling good enough. And the reason why I wrote the book is because I know when you have like low self esteem, that it can literally change the trajectory of your life. If you feel low about yourself, you can choose, we tend to choose a lot of things from the level of where our self esteem is at, where we can choose bad friendships, we can choose bad relationships, we can choose bad career opportunities and other things that we may even self-sabotage because let's say if someone said, hey, you know what, Gwen, I want to give you $100. They'll be like, oh, I know I'm okay. And it could be just because you don't feel like you're worthy of getting good things.
Yeah. I think, well, I was gonna say I think all of us were picked on for something. But
Yeah.
no, I think there were some people who were bullies and some people
Mhm.
who were bullied,
Yeah.
you know.
And I was the book.
So so I used to get picked on because I was little. I was always little. I was
Yeah.
skinny. I didn't weigh 100 pounds until I was 25.
Oh, yeah.
So when I was in school, when I graduated from high school, I think I weighed like 85 pounds, maybe 90 pounds.
Yeah. When I went to the Air Force, I was 92 pounds.
Okay. And so, in fact, in school, I wrote a paper
Hmm.
my senior year in high school because I was always writing. Writing English was always my best subject, and we had to write a paper about something, about ourselves or something. I don't remember why I wrote it, but I wrote that, in my paper that I was, sad that people would pick on me and
Yeah.
call me names. My actual first name is Guinevere.
Yeah.
And in school, people would call me Skinevere. I mean, it was really, really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So I wrote that in my paper, and then my teacher put a note on the side, and she said, "Don't worry about this because people pay billions of dollars to get to be your size." So, and, and she said, "You'll gain weight soon enough, and
Yeah.
if you keep living, you do gain weight."
Yes, you will. I was telling someone, I said, I think after the age 27, definitely 30, you start getting your grown woman or grown man weight. So I like, just wait. You're going to get the weight that you want. Cause I was very skinny as well. And I used to get picked on for being skinny, even in my adulthood. They were like, oh, you need to eat a cheeseburger or, you need to eat a steak or something. And I used to get picked on for that. And I always wanted to be a little, let's say, thicker, kind of like how, the video girls and all those people look. I wanted to look like that too. And now I'm kind of like, well, Lord, that prayer that I prayed back then, we can renege on that prayer
Yeah,
now.
stop the growth.
I'm okay on it. I enjoy the smaller weight.
Yeah, you do get your revenge later on because
I,
the girls who were thick in high school, they're fat now. And when
yeah.
I went to my high school reunion, that's when I saw that's when you get your revenge. Because people ask me, how you stay so small?
Yeah.
Because I was small to begin with. So I'm bigger now than I ever was,
Yeah.
but I had the 90 pounds to start with,
Same.
whereas they were, maybe 130 or 140
Yeah.
to start with. Then you have some kids, and if you don't lose that baby weight,
It's
then
thick and
you
get
know,
worse.
yeah, it can get worse. So yeah, what helps with the baby weight, a lot of people don't realize it is breastfeeding,
Absolutely.
because I have one daughter, but when she was 3 weeks old, I weighed 105 pounds.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
I didn't gain any weight when I was pregnant except baby weight. And I breastfed her, and I went lower than my pre-pregnancy weight, because I think I
Yeah.
weighed 110 before. But that breastfeeding
Oh
keeps
yeah.
pounds off,
It sure would.
and they waste away.
Absolutely.
So anybody out there who's pregnant, thinking about having a baby, thinking about it's two really strong benefits from breastfeeding. I'm a breastfeeding advocate.
Yeah.
I breastfed my daughter till she was 22 months old,
Hmm.
and that's not common,
Yeah.
but she was very healthy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Breastfed babies don't get sick.
Yeah.
They're very healthy because those antibodies that you give them, and it's free. Your breast milk is free. It's the right
Hmm.
temperature. It's always available. You can get them to sleep quick. You can put them down 5 minutes at the most. It's sleep, and you lose all those pounds. You don't gain weight. Now after I stopped breastfeeding, my weight started steadily going up a little bit at a time, but it's
Yeah.
been pretty steady for about 8 years.
Yeah. Definitely.
Mhm.
Definitely, working out and eating as healthy as you can, it will help
Yeah.
you also
Yes.
your weight. So I would always recommend if any girl is small or any guy is small out there, you in your 20s or whatever, just wait. You're
Yeah.
gonna get
This way,
and grown man weight later on in life. You don't need any type of surgery. If
no,
that's your thing, but you don't
because
need it.
those surgeries can be dangerous.
Yeah, they can be absolutely.
You know,
So
so if you're trying to, your body's not meant to gain or lose weight
yeah,
quickly.
right,
Your
absolutely.
body has to adjust to weight
Mhm.
gain, and when you lose the weight fast, several things happen. One, it's hard on your organs.
Yeah,
Also, your skin sags.
yeah, absolutely. And you may have to get skin
So
surgery, the skin
yeah,
removal surgery. Yeah.
so
Mhm.
then you need more surgery. So
Yep.
it's better to just be active, even if you're not going to the gym all the time. Just be active
Yes.
and eat right. Eat
Yeah.
something green every single day. That's
Mhm.
very important.
Uh,
So, Allison, you are beautiful.
yes.
When you wrote the book, when did the book come out? You didn't put that on here.
The book came out June 2023, actually.
Okay, so
Yeah,
about a year ago.
about a year ago. Hmm.
Okay. And how have you been promoting the book? Have you gone to schools with it?
Yeah.
So what
I
have you been
I've been
doing?
to a few schools and I live in Los Angeles and
Okay.
I've been to a few schools and the reception from the kids is just so amazing. Oh my gosh. One of my last schools that I went to, they let me do a big assembly. So I did K through second grade first, and then I did the third to fifth graders. And my book is mostly for kids that are 4 through 8. And
Okay.
didn't really know like if the third to fifth graders was gonna like it because I was like, it may be a little bit too much for them, but they were so quiet, they were so attentive, they were asking me questions. Um, they were raising their hands and they were talking about, because when I go into the book, I always teach them, like all of us are look different, all of us are different, and that's pretty much why God made us all different. Because this one little girl told me God made us all different because if we all look the same we would be born. I said yes we would be. I said we would be. And the kids were just so good. And they, even some of the kids, I normally always bring candy every time I come. And the kids was like, oh, I would rather have the book than the candy. So that just made me so, so happy. And when I do go, also, I have signs that says no bullying, and I teach them what bullying is. Like it can be cyberbullying, and I didn't even know cyberbullying was a thing in elementary. But one of the schools that I went to, they told me that I think it was girls in the third grade, what they would do, they would go online to like your Instagrams and stuff, and they would they cut out the girl's head and pasted it on like ugly body pictures and stuff. And that's how they were bullying her. And then, the name calling and all of those things. And I was teaching them that, when we say mean things to people, or we're pointing things out that we don't like about somebody, we were like, it doesn't make us feel good. And it really does hurt our feelings. And, that person could, maybe want to harm themselves because they don't feel like they're good enough. And the kids were really, really like receptive of it, and they really enjoyed it. And I have more schools actually lined up that I'll be doing as well.
Yeah, one of the most tragic developments, recent developments, has been young children who commit suicide from bullying.
Yeah.
I mean, young children,
Mhm.
10, 9, 10, 11 years old. And I'm wondering how do they even know about suicide?
Yeah.
And then how did, and I don't want to, I'm sure the parents are in pain, but
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how the parent didn't notice something
You know,
happening with their child.
I was listening to one story of a girl, and her parents, they were like, especially when there's public school education, what I have learned is that whatever zone that you're in, that's pretty much the school that you're supposed to go to, unless you're able to, afford or get accepted at a private school or something of that nature. You're pretty much supposed to go to that school. And actually, the parents knew that she was getting picked on. She would tell them about it, and they talked to the principal, the parents, the teachers, everyone, and they tried to move her from the school, but it was just like going on deaf ears. And so the little girl finally got tired of the situation, and she decided to commit suicide. And one of the things too, I do know that sometimes parents don't know how to deal with their child being bullied. So my book also kind of serves as a tool as well to teach people or teach parents that, hey, this is pretty much how you can kind of talk to your child to figure out what's going on. And then I also have a lot of I am statements in there, like I am beautiful, I am brave, I am strong, I am good enough. Just little things like that for people to say until they actually believe it about themselves.
Yeah, as a child, you don't realize that this too shall pass.
Absolutely.
You don't realize that next year this won't even be a thing, or it won't be important, or next month even.
Right,
That the
right.
future is going to be different. You don't know that when you're a kid because you just know what you're dealing with right then.
Yeah. And that's
Um,
why it's so important that parents, they talk to their kids about, being bullied. If the child is coming to them, they're talking to them and they're trying to do what they can to get them also out the situation because, people can only take so much. We have a lot of people who are stronger than others, and other people, they don't know how to deal with certain things. So it's very important for the parents to really talk to the child. I remember the saying back when I was in school, it was sticks and stones may break your bones, but words can never hurt me. And I said that is such a lie. I rather would have the sticks and stones because those word curses, when they stick to you, sometimes some people are still living on the word curses that people have said to them 20 or more years ago, and they can't really get past that word curse because they believe it so much about themselves. So when I teach the kids, I always teach them to be careful with their words, because our words really can hurt people so badly.
You know, words can definitely hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That is an old saying.
Yeah, but it's true.
It's technically true as far as bruising or breaking bones, but that psychological hurt is
Yes,
can be stronger
and it's
and
hard.
longer lasting. This is
Absolutely. It's
what you're
hard to
saying.
break if you don't have a strong foundation, or you don't really know who you are. If you don't know who you are, it's very hard to break word curses. And it can be from family members, it can be from
Mhm.
students, it can be from anybody. And like literally, it can be so hard to break it. And I've been there where I have had word curses spoken, or words spoken about me, and literally I wouldn't be in the positions and have done a lot of the things that I have done, if I allowed those things to stick on me.
Yeah, that's true. I hadn't really heard it put like a word curse, but I know some people, like, for example, grow up in a home where they're not encouraged, where
Yeah,
their parents or one or both parents might tell a kid, you're not going to grow up to be anything, or,
right. And they believe,
negative words. And they believe that when it
yeah,
comes from your parents,
yes, it hurts
that's
even more when
it
it comes
hurt.
to your family.
Yeah.
It so much more. And the thing about it is that your parents are pretty much your first example of the love of Christ. So it's pretty much, sometimes some people who have been damaged by their parents, they sometimes have a hard time even coming, to Christ, because that was their first example of what love was supposed to be. And yeah, it hurts. It hurts the most when it comes from your parents, or it comes from your
Hmm.
family. It hurts
Right.
so badly.
It does. Um, and I'm fortunately, I didn't have that experience.
Yeah.
We were encouraged at home. We were expected. We had very high expectations. Our
Yes.
parents did of us. So, and we wanted to meet their expectation. We were expected to
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 move in
meet
excellence.
their expectations. That's you know because you know, they had they didn't have the same opportunities.
Absolutely.
So when we had the opportunities, they expected us to do something with them,
Yeah.
and not disgrace the family. You know, my
Absolutely.
my dad was a pastor, so I'm a PK.
Mine pastor was a pastor. Gwen, we supposed to be friends.
And even Chesapeake, we might have been to your church, or something.
He,
I know when I was going, we used to visit churches a lot when I was growing up.
yeah. My
But
family, the Archer family, is mostly at St. John's AME in Norfolk, Virginia.
okay,
But my dad's church, he was mostly at St. Stephen's AME Church in Cape Charles. So on the eastern shore of Virginia is where his church was mostly at, even though we
okay.
Chesapeake.
Yeah, we were Baptists, but we did have services sometimes with AME churches.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Oh, but mostly Baptists,
I,
and some Church of God in Christ, some of those.
yeah.
The biggest one in Newport News was St. John's
Okay.
Church of God in Christ.
Yeah. I
There
heard
was,
it too. Yeah. I
mhm,
never been there, but I definitely heard of the St. John's Church of God in Christ. Yeah.
yeah, they had an amazing choir, and we had a good choir, but the
There's a
Kojic
really good,
churches,
that's right.
it's something about them and the
Yes.
singing and their singers and the choir. I don't know what secret sauce they have, but they have some amazing
They were
singers.
anointed. They were anointed.
Still do. They still do. Anointed. I mean, a lot of the singers now came out of the Kojic church, the
Hmm.
popular singers
Oh, yeah.
of today. A lot of them are from the Kojic. So what are your plans for your book going forward?
So my plans for my book, I'm actually in the process of writing another book. I'm gonna make it also a series with the character as my main character. Still plan on going to more schools as well and to talk to them about anti-bullying, because I do know that this is something I'm seeing more children unfortunately harm themselves due to being bullied. And I just believe that the message in the book can literally change people's lives, whether it's the person who is bullied or the person who is doing the bullying. Because the person in my book who was doing the bullying, he apologizes to my main character, and he just said, I was just, making fun of you. I didn't know that it was hurting you. So, and a lot of times they don't know that it's hurting them. And, of course, my story has like a really good ending, that they become friends and all. And I know this isn't a reality for everyone, being bullied, but at least if the kids are able to see that, hey, maybe I shouldn't bully someone because I am hurting them. Would I want to be bullied myself? And I always teach them, treat people the way you want to be treated as well. So definitely doing more school visits, which I love. And I also, my publishing company too, they're also going to be doing like a story time cartoon on the book as well. So yeah.
Okay. Now, what do you think in terms of boys? Because
Hmm.
this book, your main character was a girl.
Yes.
Are you planning to do one with boys as a
I
central
am, but
character? Have you thought about that?
I am. And the boy, the person in the book who's doing the bullying is a he, actually. So I'm not just trying to say that little boys, unfortunately, are only ones picking on the girls or anything like that. Because they
No,
get
because there's some mean girls out there.
absolutely. So the boys get picked on too. So when I'm actually doing the school visits, it's a mixed uh co-ed crowd, and the boys were the ones who were actually more engaged in the book. They were the ones who were more engaged.
Interesting.
They were the one who were, telling me about, they were picked on by someone and how it made them feel. And they were telling me they actually liked the book because it helped them to be able to deal with some of the things that they were dealing with. And they really love a lot of the I am statements. Instead of saying I am beautiful, they can say I am handsome,
Hmm.
So, just change it up.
Okay. Well, in our final minutes, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your background in
Yes.
your profession too
Mhm.
in healthcare
Yes.
because you studied that in the Air Force
Hmm.
and then you entered that field as a professional after you got out of the Army. Is that, I mean, the Air Force, is that correct?
Yeah. So currently what I'm a finance manager. And so I was in the medical field, but then I still kind of I work for health science and research, and I'm also a co-author of two research projects that actually talks to we did a research project about really talking about health disparities within the women veterans of color. So we would talk to them, we would ask them what were their experiences with, their VA services. Have they ever experienced any type of health disparities while in the VA system? And we really did get such an amazing response, which were a lot of good experience and some experience that weren't so well either. And all our data went to the Department of Veteran Affairs of how they could better service that population. So that's pretty much a little bit about me.
So what made you do that research project?
I was asked actually.
Oh, okay.
I was asked to, someone who knew me, they knew my character. They thought I would be a great person to be a part of the research project. And I didn't know, I never done, researching before, but what they did, they wanted me to be one of the lead interviewers. So I was like actually leading the interview and leading the call. And literally they trained me. We went through about a 2-week training. They trained me how to do it or whatever, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. That's something that I really enjoy, and I was able to do 2, and I have 1 more that I'm going to be doing in the fall.
That sounds like something for a master's program. Do you have a master's degree that you said you
Yeah.
have? It's the kind of thing that people do in a master's program.
Absolutely, yes. Hmm.
Okay.
But I
Well, oh, what were you gonna say? I'm
oh no,
sorry.
I just said I enjoyed it. Hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully that information is passed along to the powers that be and the decision
Yes.
makers in the Defense Department. So, well,
Mhm.
and veterans, so that they can address whatever disparities there are. Because what's the ratio of males to females in the service? Do you know
I don't know.
overall?
I don't know really off the top of my head, but I do know that there are way more men, of course, than
Right.
females, and it's been that way over time. It was
For the
most dominant
original.
field, and then the women we started saying, "Hey, we want to be in too." So and that's literally what happened. But yeah, you're starting to see that there's starting to be more women of different races that's coming in, because at first you saw mostly black female, or you'll start see I'm sorry, you would see mostly Caucasian females, then you would start to see more black females, and you starting to see Hispanic, Asian, and so on, so more so on. So you're starting to see more women of all races in the military.
Okay. Well, Erica, show us your book cover one more time as we close.
Allison,
And
you're beautiful.
Allison, you're beautiful. And
And
it's available
every
online,
it's,
everywhere
it's located
online.
on all major publishing platforms: your Walmart, your Target, your
Okay.
Amazon, Barnes and Nobles.
Okay.
Type it in and you'll find it. And leave me a good review. I would love, love, love it. Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you for being a guest on Black Authors Matter TV and continued success with your book and your profession.
Thank you so much, Gwen. You have a wonderful day.
Okay. You too.
Bye.